segment, we got none other than the guy who doesn't drop that often, Amine, with his new album called Limbo. I will start us out here because I have been a fan of Amine's music. I think he's a very unique artist. I think he delivers us with a lot of different sounds that, dare I say, we don't really hear that often. Like, it's interesting to hear a guy that possesses so many different unique styles. And then also, what's this thing about him always having a Charlie Wilson feature? Like, I don't know about you, man, but I respect any nigga that got a Charlie Wilson feature, like, every time around the block. Like, that's a different type of feature. If you got Charlie Wilson, the only other person that I can think of who gets Charlie Wilson as much as this guy does is Kanye West. That's the only other person I can think about.
As long as he's doing that, then I don't care. If he's not doing that,
can we get into first, before we get into like the deep dive of the music itself, album cover? What'd you think about it, man? Do you even remember it? Does it look cool? Like, does it not stand out? Give me your thoughts, man.
I don't understand what the purpose of it was. Like him going like this. I don't know if he was trying to show that he has like a cavities or a diamond in his tooth or something. I have no clue. We all have cavities though. So I don't know if you're supposed to be bragging about that. But I mean, it was okay, I guess. I don't really like the Limbo. But
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I really don't know what that album cover is trying to tell me. I mean, I understand what Limbo means, but like, what is he in the middle of? I mean, what? I don't get it. I don't get it. Weird title.
He talks a lot on the album, like literally talks about some of his deep thoughts on the album. So maybe I gotta listen again. So
you know what though? I respect, like I said, I respect Amine, and I did like the Kobe Bryant aspect that he gave. You know what I'm saying? He gave a lot of tribute to Kobe, which was interesting. Yeah, man. Efficient project. I want to point out though, doesn't he sound a lot like Big Sean to you? Like, did you get that vibe?
He sounds similar. They have similar.
Go back and listen, man. He sounds. There were so many times where I said, "Man, bro, like I didn't know Big Sean was on this song," and then I went and looked and didn't see his name. And I'm like, okay, that was strange. I think though overall, Amine gave us a lot of instrumentation. You know, a lot of different sounds. You know what I'm saying? For him to have this R&B, hip hop feel, mixing in jazz, mixing in the overall messages like you talked about earlier, right? Him talking about his mom in one of the songs, him talking about how, like I said, man, Kobe was such an inspiration in his life. Like a lot of people like that are around our age can relate to that, man. Overall, I thought it was a good project though, man. Good. It was a really good project. So now I won't even say surprisingly good, because it's not like I actually expect Amine to drop quality work. So this was right on par with that. It was right on par. What do you think?
So, when you started off the topic of this album and Amine, I thought there was a couple things that you did not say about him that I think is important to add. He is a fantastic rapper. Fantastic rapper. I think he has a very good feel for music. He can sing, but then also he's very charming. Like, he's kind of like how Kyle's charming. Like, they kill you with that charm. That's how Amine is too. So you don't necessarily have to love hip hop music to love Amine. He's just a very heartwarming dude. With that being said, this album is kind of split into two, right? It's split into a hard-hitting hip-hop joint where you got songs like Shimmy, which I absolutely love. Then the intro, bruh, did you see how he started that album? Like, the intro was fantastic. I think the intro's called Burden.
I liked it. I like Burden a lot. I also liked how that transitioned into Woodlawn. Like,
Yeah, it
Like
transitions to Woodlawn.
those two songs to start it out were really good.
It was dope.
Really, really good.
And then it was broken into also like he had commercial R&B type joints, like the song with Summer Walker, Riri, Compensating, which I think is a very underrated song. That is pretty fantastic.
You know, I actually don't like that song, man.
Really?
I didn't like that song too much. I really didn't.
I think it's a nice commercial.
I remember when it came out, right? It dropped. That was the one of the singles. I'll call it a single.
Yeah.
I wasn't really liking that joint like that. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's the production. I wasn't really feeling like that.
I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was a nice little quirky joint. It falls in line with what he does great because that kind of sounded like a couple songs he had on his previous albums. But long story short, this album is for people that are just light-hearted hip-hop fans. If you're tired of hearing all the same old trap stuff, you're tired of hearing all the violence and the braggadocious stuff, listen to this dude that is highly relatable to your regular Joe. And so that's why I think I liked it a lot. He might be, personally, in my opinion, I think he is the most relatable rapper in the game that's popping right now. You can't find many that are as relatable as him.
He's definitely in that bag. I think Kyle is super relatable. But there's a bunch. He definitely does it really well. Really, really well. I agree with that. Let's move on, man. Actually, you know what? Before we move on, what are some of your favorite songs? I think you talked about a couple, but like, are those your favorite, or were those just the ones that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, those are my favorites. Let me take cool. Let's see. So we won't waste each other's time and actually give you my top 5. Ratings Game presents my top 5. Riri, I thought was fantastic. Burden was one of my favorite. Pressure in My Palms, I thought was dope as hell. Like, I know a lot of people are going to just kind of skip that one and say, oh, yeah, it's not as dynamic. But I thought that the energy on that song, the collaboration, like how the chemistry between Slow Tie, Vince Staples, and Amine was great.
Yep.
Compensating. And I think Shimmy is one of the best just raw rap joints that came out this year, in my opinion. That is my favorite songs. My top 5 songs. Shimmy's my favorite.
Interesting. I like majority of the ones you named. I like Riri a lot. Really, really dope ass song. I liked Burden. I like Woodlawn. I liked Roots with Jid and Charlie Wilson. Like that was a dope experience to me. Like that was really tight.
It was an interesting song.
Yeah, like that. Like I just even like the messaging in that song. But again, like you said, man, Amine is very good with messaging and relating to people. I would encourage y'all to listen to this straight up. Like this is quality music. Quality music.
Yes, it is.